Hello and welcome to this Quake Live beginner tutorial on strafe jumping. If you don't know what Quake Live is, it's an awesome FPS game that manly men play. It's a free to play game. It's by the developers of id Software, the people who bought you Doom, Quake, and of course Wolfenstein, so you have to play it. It's the law. And I'm James Too Good Harding. If you don't know who I am, that's cool too. But what I'm going to show you here is a beginner's guide to strafe jumping. Strafe jumping is so important in Quake if you want to play it, because if you can strafe jump, basically what it means is you can move fast. And if you can move fast in an FPS game, you can get in positions that you need to be quickly to take advantage, or to defeat your opponents, whether it be a duel game, a TDM or CTF, or whatever your flavor. So the reason people try and master strafe jumping is because it's one of the hardest things to do in Quake, and you need it to be a top gamer. Of course, you need to aim, you need to be able to dodge, and you need to be able to do all these other great things as well. But strafing is the art somewhat of Quake Live. It's it's something that's really hard to master, but with practice you'll be able to do it. But to get to the to master it, you need to know the beginning steps, and I'm going to teach you the beginning steps of strafe jumping. So as you configure, strafe jumping involves the strafe keys. To explain this, W is move forward, S is to move back, and A is to strafe left, and D is to strafe right. Obviously they don't bind turn keys because you turn with your mouse. And now you can kind of figure out, I guess, that to strafe jump you're going to need to jump and strafe. Ta-da! You're already learning, and I'm learning too. I didn't even know that, to be fair. So I'm going to teach this. And a lot of you might be wondering why you're doing a strafe jumping guide. And I was like, well, I should have done it a long time ago. I really like Quake, and I hope that people will be able to come in and at least have a little advantage or a little something they already know before playing. And I actually just did a StarCraft 2 guide, and I don't play StarCraft 2, but I just hosted it, but I felt incompetent. So I'm going to teach something I do know. So here we go. So to explain how strafe jumping increases the speed of you when you do it, I'm going to explain what it does to like the physics engine in the game, and how we're going to abuse that or take advantage of that to gain speed. So let's say, for example, I just use forward. So I joined the game and I want to go to the other side of this room to check out this wall because it looks cool, and this wall not so cool, and I want to go there. So I'm just going to press W, move forward key. Holding W, I'll make it to the other side. I'm like, woo! And it turns out this wall was as cool as I thought it was going to be. But doing this, I max out my speeds. You can see, once I get to the other side, I definitely feel like I've already maxed out speed. This is how fast, like if I joined the game and I didn't know any better, this is how fast you can go. I go this fast, and everyone goes this fast, and we're all going, at a lovely pace that won't harm children if we were to hit them. So what I'm going to do is I want to get to a speed where I can knock over and harm children. So I'm going to add another type of movement to this to the direction I'm going. Now what this does is I'm actually just going to add jump. Now what this means is, to the physics engine, I'm going forwards, but I'm also going up and down. Now like in physics, what it's kind of saying to the physics engine is I have two types of movement, but I'm going in the same direction. But because I have two types of movement, it's actually going to increase, it's going to actually accelerate me a little bit and increase my speed. So just walking forwards won't be as fast as going forwards and jumping. By going forwards and jumping, I should be slowly, probably not much, gaining a slight amount of speed, and probably not much that I can even see here while teaching you, and I guess you can't see it. So to prove my theory, which is already proven, it takes roughly about 2 1/4 jumps to get to the other side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add strafe to the movement. So I've got my forward key, I'm jumping up and down like an excited little girl, and I'm also going to add strafe. Now on my first jump, I'm just going to hold strafe left, and I'm going to hold it, and when I land, as soon as I land, I'm going to add my second jump, and as I add the second jump, I'm going to change to strafe right. So I'm going to jump, strafe left, and then as I land, I'm going to jump and strafe right. You'll notice though, unlike holding just forward and strafe like this, because I'm airborne, I won't have as much side to side movement. So I'm actually going to be channeling a lot of this all these other movements into going forward because I'm in the air. I can't move that much from side to side while in the air, but that means that all these movements coming together are going to be channeled into going forwards. So it hopefully means I'm going to get to this wall, which I love so much, as I hate this wall, a lot quicker. So forward, strafe left, hold strafe left, land, hold strafe right, jump, and then get to the other side. I'm going to keep my mouse center as well. So forward, strafe left, and then strafe right. And you can see I've already turned magically that I think it was like 2 1/4 jumps into 1 1/2. I kind of get to the other side, kind of peak in midair. So you can see strafe jumping. I've proved it. Nobel Prize. Probably not. But now you can see that adding that extra movement into the jump, it channels the additional movement into acceleration, which takes you forward faster. So this means if I was playing a game and I wanted to get to an item on the other side of the map, and you wanted to get there and we were having a race, if you didn't know how to do this, I'd win, I'd get the item, you'd die, and I'd be victorious and take your girlfriend. But you don't want that, and I don't want that. I've got too many girlfriends. So now you know that kind of puts some principle into it, but now I'm going to add the hard part of the equation. We've got one more style of movement that can take advantage of the physics engine that we have yet to use, and it is indeed the mouse. And this mouse, when I move from like this, I'm standing still, and I'm just kind of like twisting my torso. I don't know what I look like to other people right now. I hope I look really cool, because I feel cool doing this. But basically, I'm just twisting my torso side to side. So this is the fourth movement. So I've got forward, I've got up and down jump, I've got strafe left and right, but I'm going to twist my torso while I'm in midair. And that's actually going to make me go faster. Of course, that makes perfect sense. So to do this, what I'm going to do is as I jump left, I'm actually going to move my mouse left. So I'm twisting my torso while in midair, gaining speed, as you do. Don't try this in real life. It works and you'll get arrested. And then as I land, I'm going to start strafing right, and I'm going to bring my mouse right. So this should add an additional movement, which should make me go faster to turn this 1 1/2 jumps maybe into just like, half a jump. That's not going to work. But anyway, so here we go. So I'm going to jump, and I'm going to strafe left, and then I'm going to strafe right. Now, I haven't really turned that 1 1/2 jumps into much less, but I definitely have got a little bit more speed. So it's just like strafe left, and then strafe right. Now, this is kind of alternating the strafes, because I'm going left and right, and I could go left and right again. And I should constantly gain speed from this. The one thing I'll say about the mouse movement, it is the hardest part to master. And what you need to consider is that when I'm strafing left, as you saw, as soon as I jump, my mouse is normally like center, because that's where I want to go. I want to jump forward, right? So between almost landing, I bring my mouse from the left to center, and as I jump, my mouse is like roughly center, and then I start bringing it over right, and then I do the same thing back. And my mouse only goes from here to here. And, as you can see, that's what I just did. And I'm at the wall that I love. I'm happy. I'm winning. And I'll demonstrate some more. So over here in the Quake Live tutorial, we've got people jumping over, showing off. That's horrible. I mean, 3 people died on that wall, and they even colored them in. But we want to get over to the other side. Now, of course, if I just do a normal jump on this one, I'll probably make it, because I'm just forward jumping. But that's enough, because, okay, second one didn't make it. What the hell? Come on, James. I'm just holding forward here. Okay, so second jump I can't make. But if I just hold forward, strafe left and jump, I'm actually going to make it. Boom. The last one's probably even further, though. So I'm going to hold forward, hold left, and jump. I don't make it. Now, the reason is obviously while strafing left, I probably did a more distance if I just jumped forward, but I ended up in the corner, and that's no good. Don't want to be in the corner. I want to be there. So to do this, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add the first part of I'm actually going to add like torso movement and strafing before I jump. Crazy. To make sure I gain movement speed even before the jump start. So before I taught you basically you're going to jump and then you're going to turn. Now I'm going to teach you you're going to turn and then you're going to jump and then you're going to turn. Makes sense. So to do this, I'm actually going to aim off to the side. I want to go here, but I'm going to aim here. And this means that I will actually be able to press forward, strafe left, turn left before I jump, yeah, all at once. And that's actually even going to gain movement speed. I'm going to gain speed from this, even though I'm not jumping. And as I do these movements, I'm going to straighten up my mouse and I'm going to jump forward. And while I'm in the midair, I'm going to cook an omelette, but also I'm going to strafe left a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to keep that torso movement going, because the torso movement you always want. Just like you always want to be strafing, you always want to be holding forwards, you always want to be doing some sort of mouse movement with your torso. You want to constantly use all four of those elements of movement and combine them together to make a giant transformer of movement. So here we go. I'm going to press forward, strafe left and jump, and I'm going to hold a little bit of mouse movement in the air, and I've made it to the other side. Admittedly, it's not that great over here, so I'm going to jump back. And this time I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to go forward, strafe right, turn my mouse right, and then jump as I straighten up, and then just keep a little bit of mouse movement going in midair to keep that torso going, torso movement. And I'm holding, strafe, and you don't hold jump, you just press jump between the jumps. You can hold jump if you want, but then you'd have to press it again. Oops. Don't think you can, no, you can't hold jump. Learning things on my own tutorial. Yeah, and that's pretty much strafe jumping in very simplest form. Of course, you can practice this. Just left, right. It's like marching but cooler, and you can do that. And yeah, and it works pretty easily. And that's how you can get around the map. There are a few more things you can do to strafe jumping. There's obviously you can even extend. So rather than just kind of starting here, if you want to aim here, if you want to jump here, with a little movement, you can actually gain more speed off this by actually kind of going like aiming here. But it's all about your mouse movement, all about the control. And you can also do, you don't have to alternate your strafes. You don't have to go right, left, like you're marching. You can actually go left, left, right, right. Exciting. But to do this, what you need to do, you can just keep going one direction, actually. So, obviously, if you want to go straight forward, you might want to go left, right, but let's say you want to kind of go like that, because that's how the map is. You want to keep strafing left. To do that, you just keep bounce. You never let go of strafe left. You do your first jump, and you're going left, and then you just keep bouncing left. And you can actually, your mouse movement can keep kind of, your mouse direction can keep going with you. You can kind of reset it a little bit sometimes. Like, you can bring it back center. Like, if you ball it back center and then instead of going right, you just bring it back center and go left. But you can also just kind of keep knocking it over. And I like the knocking it over tactic. I like knocking things over. See that even there, that was just a double right. So, a little bit right. And then jump right, and then of course, as you see, I clearly made it to the other side. Sounds like I just died. Yeah, but obviously you can just keep doing that, and maybe if I had a better area to demonstrate that, you'd learn that. But overall, that's the beginner guide to strafe jumping. It teaches you some of the elements. I just did it to feel better about myself. So if you want to leave a nice comment going, "Oh, James, you're such a nice man, and you have an average figure and a full set of hair," that would be great. And I'll sleep well. Maybe I'll do an intermediate and expert guide, teach you some more tricks. But generally, if you just take some of these elements and understand the principle behind it, which I just made up, you might be able to move around the map faster. And if you can, then you're hopefully play a better game of Quake Live. And if you can play a better game of Quake Live, you're on the way to happiness.